These
Do they give you wings?
Welcome, family. Welcome, family.
Yeah.
Hey.
He wants you to know that what's inside of you is like grandmama's greens. So don't give up. Your time is coming.
Welcome, family, to another episode of Matthew 77 Project Podcast. I'm Samuel, and here with me is my team, Coach AK.
What's up, y'all?
Dominic ain't here with us today, y'all. I don't know if y'all know, but Dominic has a large family, like a very large family. So today is really family day for him, and
Right.
it's important. So we always, support that when it comes to like family and, kids. He got like 4 and like the 5th one on the way. That's a lot of kids.
Let's shout Dom out. Dom is a true definition of
A great father.
yes, and everything else is gonna wait until I know my kids and my wife are cool. And I love Dom for that. I love his family. I'm glad that his family was blessed with him.
Man, they so
blessed.
For real. They really is. For real. So I mean, yeah. So we just wanted to update y'all. Dom's still with us.
We're still a trio.
Yeah. It's just, more pressing matters. More pressing matters.
No eardrums after this. I'm about to let you have the headphones back. I can hear you.
Hey, look. They not paying me for this, but look, let me tell you something. This Red Bull right here.
Well, let me see. You gotta.
Yeah, go on. That Red Bull right here. Look, when I tell you that Red Bull right here, my grammar. Look,
you gotta.
When I tell you that's the best, worst thing for you in life, the taste is so delicious. And then you turn the can around, and it make you feel so depressed about what you put in your body. But it do.
Why you didn't bring me one to try?
I started 2. I had 2, but I drank the other one.
What happened?
I drank the other one.
So that one was mine. Almost.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. Maybe next time.
I don't know how much these cost a pop.
You are such an old head. A pop.
Okay, so look, I heard this quote today, right? And it was like a quote I heard on my drive from Columbus to Cincinnati. That's like an hour and 30 minutes. So I listened to a lot of stuff on the way here. And I heard this quote, and I tell you, I was like, oh my God. And it was from a brand called Holy Strength. Holy Strength is like, I want to call them a motivational clothing line. I haven't really looked into them to know what they really are, but that's what I get when I see them. And I think they clothing so dope because they clothes, it's a cross, and at the end of it, it's like weights, like it's a barbell. So it's Holy Strength.
Ooh,
and all
like
their videos is like in the gym while they working out, whatever it is, it's always in the gym. I'm like, this is dope. So I'm listening to my little quote, and it pop up on my TL. That's timeline.
I know. You're the old head here, not me.
So it popped up on my TL, and the quote was, "When God gives you a dream, the dream will always be tested." You hear me? Now keep going. It says the things that you're going through, the pressure that you're experiencing, has a purpose. It's not crushing you. It's pushing what's inside out.
I like that.
When I heard that, I said...
That just summed up our whole week.
Golly.
Literally, the 3 of us, our whole week.
It's been a hard week, man.
It has been.
And, and I'm not going to say hard week because every time I say something like that, I'll be like, dang, somebody got it way worse.
Yeah, you're right.
So it was
a week we never experienced before.
Yeah, we could say that. Because it was a week. And you've been fasting this week. How'd that go?
That went very well. I received so much just like motivation and direction, clarity, also focus. I know like now how I want to start spending my time more in terms of, well, just to give you like an overview of my fast, I did completely no social media from Monday through Friday, eating at 12 p.m.
Despite the enemy trying to tempt you into social media.
Yes.
That's dope because,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to
It was an accident, okay? It was an accident.
Sam gonna tell y'all.
Okay, so AK did told the entire team she's going on the fast and she wants to be held accountable and she needs help. So in her fast, and I'm like, we got you. Everybody like, we got you. So the week starts, we move through the week, and then I see a video I like, and you know, I want to share it with my team, my besties. So I totally forget that AK is doing it. I forget for a couple seconds, and I send it. AK is like, hey, you know, I'm doing my thing.
Right.
Like,
can you
cool out? I'm like, my bad. I'm sorry. But do you know I did it like the next day?
Yes, literally the next day. Literally the next day from the same platform.
And I heard her snap through the text. It was like she snapped on me for real. And I was like, okay, Sam, you need to be more mindful of what you're doing. You can't be sending these videos to the group and you know what AK is doing. So I apologize for that. But at the end of the day, you know, it creates, you know, that you know, that willpower.
Yeah, do I really want it or not? So I do appreciate you for that.
Yeah, I did it on purpose to test you.
Oh, now you did it on purpose. But let me tell you the other attempt I fell into. So I was with my little cousin. He was eating a pizza roll. He wasn't eating them. So I started to, you know, slide me one. And I was like, oh, no, I'm fasting. I'm fasting. So it happened a couple times this week.
Did you eat one or did you?
I did not.
Okay, cool.
I did not.
Cool.
I didn't. And that was on Monday. That was the first day of my fast.
That's how I go.
No, why did I wake up the hungriest I've ever been? I said, this is all in my head. I never wake up this hungry. It's just because I know that I'm not going to put anything in my body intentionally until 12 o'clock.
Yep. And you know what? The thing that I think needs to be made aware of when it comes to fasting is don't beat yourself up if you feel like you failed. Because at the end of the day, God loves your willingness. That's what makes him happy, that you're willing to even try. So it's like, don't beat yourself up too bad when you know, fall back in your fast or whatever, because you can always start over. You can always do it again, but know that God is pleased that you was even willing. Right. That's where it's at, the willingness. And then the execution, that's gonna come. Don't trip on that. You gonna execute, but just know that God finds pleasure in you just being willing.
Right.
But you made it all the way through. You made it all the way through. I
still haven't even downloaded the app yet because I don't have that urge. Like, it's like it's not a necessity.
Yeah.
But I will be getting back on Monday because I got some stuff to drop on my account. Because during my fast, like I said, I had so much clarity and so much focus. I was able to plan out like a whole week's worth of content. I've never did that before. I usually just do it day by day. And that's very stressful. But it's because like when I could have been planning it out, I was on social media or I was wasting my time doing other stuff. But it's like, because I had a fast, I fasted, and with the focus, you have to fast with the focus, and that's how you get the most out of it. But then back to what you said about not beating yourself up. I had to learn. I did another fast like previously this year, and it was for my business and me needing like clarity and direction on what type of content and stuff to post. And I felt so bad because one of those days I slipped up. But even on that day I slipped up, that felt like the day I had the most like downloads in my head of stuff. And then I was just like, dang, God, that's crazy. Like, even when I fell off and I messed up, you still poured into me. And like you said, that goes all back to him saying your willingness and that this is something that you're taking the time to do. And he never said that he's looking for perfection. It's always progress over perfection, passion over perfection,
talk that talk. Look, what people don't understand, this is what I learned about perfection and the word perfect. And you know, we've been in Bible class. You know, my church is Church Zion. You know, Turning Point. Yeah. That's what Turning Point Church of Zion. For years, I've been saying Father's House, so I'm still getting in a mode of saying Zion, Turning Church. It's just. It's okay. I know what church I'm a part of. Okay, don't do that. I'm not a heathen. I'm just understand that God is doing some big things and moving pieces. And we used to be a smaller congregation, and my bishop ended up merging two other churches with ours, and now it's like we a bigger church, bigger congregation, and the name is different. So now I got to get out of the mode of saying what I've been saying to now saying,
Right.
But it's cool though. It's cool though. Sometimes you gotta say the little backstory because when you talking to new people, they be like, "Damn, this nigga don't even know his church," but it's cool.
Yo.
But what I've learned is, when God tells us to be perfect, He's telling us to be complete. So the word God, God tells us to be perfect, and He would never tell us to do something that He know we can't do.
Exactly.
So what perfect is to us humans, we can't achieve that. But when God tells us to be perfect, He's telling us to be complete. And there's only one way to be complete, with Him.
Right.
So you have to be connected with Him to really be considered complete. So when somebody's telling you to be perfect, just think, okay, am I complete? And that just sparked me when you said, He's not looking for perfection. And that's true. He's not looking for perfection in the way that the world sees perfection. But He is looking for us to be complete. So,
whole in Him.
Yes.
That's the only way we can become whole, like you said, through Him.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
He heard me in my downfall, and I love that. I love Him for that.
So look, I was witnessing this week, and I started crying while I was witnessing to somebody.
Oh Lord.
And people don't know how to handle a 6'3", 300-pound man crying in front of them. They don't know. Like, do I hug him? Do I
rub his back?
Like, what do I do? You want a cookie? But so he was saying how he was newly a Christian, and how he used to not like going to church. He thought church was boring. Mm-hmm. And I looked at him. I said, church is always boring when you don't understand the sacrifice. I said, but once you understand the sacrifice, it ain't boring no more. Because somebody that died for you, it's like you want to give them everything. Mm-hmm. You want to give them all your time. So he's like, it ain't boring to me no more. I love it. I said, because you understand the sacrifice. You cannot tell me and continue to complain about church hours and say that you don't want to be there and say that it's boring, and then in the same breath say that you understand the sacrifice.
Right.
You know there was a sacrifice, but you can't really understand it and complain about being in a place. It's confusing to me. Like, how in the world does that work?
Yeah.
But, this wanted to put that out there. If you find yourself, complaining about Sundays or being in the house of God or how long service is, understand that, and this is my mindset. Most people that complain about, a Sunday long service, that's the only day they really try to dedicate to God anyway. So you ain't did nothing else. Right. You ain't, and I'm talking, but I ain't judging, because I know a lot of people hear this and then they want to go to you judging. Look, nobody's judging you. When somebody's telling you you're wrong, you're wrong. Nobody's judging you. You're just wrong. But when you go throughout the whole week and you don't do nothing for God, you don't give Him nothing, and then Sunday comes and then you complain about the couple hours that you got to sit somewhere. It's like, how dare you? You should be giving them way more, but you gonna complain about one day. And then in the same breath, look at me and say, I understand the sacrifice. I don't believe you. It's a TikTok that say, they say you ain't really about that life. And it's like, who said that? I did. That's what I see. I said that. That's But anyway, speaking about complaining and all the other stuff, I have found myself in a mode of complaining. And I had to snap myself out of it. One day I was complaining, the Holy Spirit was like, shut up. What are you talking about? Like, be quiet. And I feel like I started thinking, I'm like, okay, am I venting or am I complaining? It's a difference. When you venting, you express an emotion, stuff that feels like pent up inside you and you just want to release it. Mm-hmm. When you complaining, you just complaining. You talking about something you really can't change, and you're looking for somebody to throw you a pity party. You want people to come in with the balloons and the piano and the banner. Mm-hmm. Like, look, we see you complaining, so here go the pity party. We gonna party like it's 1990. Like, no. nah, you complaining too much. So I found myself in that, and everything goes back to my job, because that's what I do 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, on a construction site. And this week they had me in like these different trucks and driving all these different vehicles. And if anybody is a driver, you understand how it is frustrating switching vehicles. You have your vehicle is clean, it smells like you, and it's yours. And then they put you in all these different kind of vehicles, and this one don't have that one, this one is raggedy, this one is broke. So like I'm going off, like I'm complaining. And people ride with me and I'm landing, like I'm not venting at this point. We're just complaining. That's what we're doing. And in the mode of complaining, I'm like, Holy Spirit speaking to me saying, shut up. What are you complaining about? Do you know that this morning you woke up and was able to go to a job? And there's people right now that wish they had a job. There's people right now that wish that didn't wake up. And you have all these luxuries. So then it's like, okay, if I got time to complain, am I really being thankful? That's where I got. That's the point I came to, because I'm like, am I really being thankful for where I am and what God has done for me if I'm complaining? Because you really can't do both.
Right.
You can't complain and be thankful. Somebody walk up to you and give you like a backwards little compliment. Like, I appreciate everything you do, but...
Right. You shouldn't even say anything previously in front of the but.
Right. Like, you just keep it to yourself. Mm-hmm. Or just keep it that you appreciate. Because once you say but and you start complaining, everything you said before that goes out the window. I
had to learn that for myself, because I would begin a sentence with that part and then that but, and think that but is okay and that it justifies what I'm about to say, and that a person should still be okay with only hearing the first part. But it's like, how? Mm-hmm. How can they just only hear that first part, but you butt it all the way through it?
Yeah. Hey, for real. You butt it all the way through it. And I feel like people, they confuse what appreciation really means. Mm-hmm. And their appreciation scale is off, like way off, because appreciation is not saying something that you like and then in the same sense criticizing what you don't. It's a time and place for both. Yeah. And you have to understand and decipher, when it's time for things to be expressed. Sometimes things are just personal. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if somebody was to bless you with something that you needed, and let's just say it's a car. Somebody blessed you with a car, but the car don't got no AC. How crazy would it be if you was like, thank you for this car, I appreciate it, but the AC don't work?
That's insane.
Like that's excuse insane. Me? And back in the day, they had like the greatest AC like systems. You just roll down the window and you get on the highway, you hit up to like 60 and you let that sucker cruise. You got all the AC in the world. Like, so that'd be my answer. Somebody said it to me, because now I feel like you don't appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And what's crazy is you really do appreciate it, but you're just expressing what you don't like.
Right.
And I say all that to say that sometimes what you don't like, keep to yourself.
And sometimes that can be known as like unsolicited advice, especially like if somebody is venting to you and they just getting it off their chest and you feel the need to come in with all these solutions or telling them they shouldn't feel like this, or well, that already happened to me and it ain't that bad. Did they ask for any type of... Yeah,
don't downplay my emotions. Yeah. Like, don't make me feel like I'm crazy for how I feel. Like, this is my emotion.
Right.
Like,
is this a safe space or not? Do I need to go vent somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
And then they get mad when they don't tell them nothing no more. Or it's like, well, dang, never mind. I'm sorry I even told you. Or, no, it's cool. It's just, no. Like, what was the point?
And you know what? It's crazy, because I was talking to somebody about this earlier this week. And society has programmed people to look for what they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Versus
everything.
Versus, the good things. And it's like, when we go into situations, we're not supposed to only look at the good things. We're supposed to see, the bad. We're supposed to have that eye. But we don't go in looking for the bad, because then you overlook the good. So society has taught you to, when you go into a situation, you figure out what you don't like. Figure out what this is and what this is and what that is.
Right.
But it's like you miss everything that's right, because sometimes what's right over trumps what's wrong. Because most of the time, sometimes it's no negotiating. Sometimes what's wrong is wrong. But most of the time, what's wrong to you is just to you.
Yeah.
It's just your preference. It's different than that person's preference, and you just don't like it.
Or you haven't got a chance to really get to know it and know if you like it or not.
It's just different.
Yeah, and as soon as we feel something different, I was like, oh, no, I don't like that. That ain't cool.
Out of my
that
comfort zone.
Right, that ain't for me.
Yep, I ain't never experienced this before.
Right.
So it's adjusting. You need to be able to adjust and adapt to different situations and things, especially if you a person that wants to be better and do more and be impactful. If you want to be that person, you cannot continue to be closed off.
Yeah, you're gonna be uncomfortable, especially when you want to make change and impact. Uncomfortable.
And the guy that I was with this week, like that was in the truck with me, the guy I told you about, that's, a new Christian, they call them babies in Christ. He was saying how back in the day he used to be so closed off and how he didn't really talk to people. And he was showing me that he's different by talking my head off the whole time we was in the truck. I mean, golly, I was like, brother. Like I'm playing stuff, like I'm listening to my little podcast or whatever. I'm playing my stuff, and I'm like, maybe if I turn this up, he understand I'm trying to listen to this. He just talks louder. I'm like, okay, let me just go and cut it off because he's gonna make me miss what I want to hear. And he said that to say, he used to be closed off. And now he's more open ever since he found Christ. I said, okay, that's cool. I said, because how are you going to hear from the Lord? Because, we can hear from the Lord in all different types of places, from all different types of people. And you can't really hear from him being closed off.
Right.
You can't really hear from him being stayed to yourself and not wanting to open up. So he was saying, I'm becoming a more open person. And I'm like, yes, because when you open, people, they normally reflect what you give. So when you're open, 9 times out of 10, that person is going to be open back, and you might be able to receive something or hear something from a different perspective,
right.
Or get confirmation of something that you've been asking God about through somebody else. Some of us are so closed off that we miss God, and I need you to hear me. You're so closed off that you miss God. It's something that you've been praying for. It's something you've been asking God for. It's somewhere that you want to be, and you just need confirmation, and you need God to let you know, is this something I should be doing? Is this a place I should be going? Is this a person I should be pursuing? Or is this it? And in the same breath, you're that person that don't like people. You're that person that stays to yourself. You're that person that don't trust nobody. So you miss God every time.
Yes.
So it's like, we have to get in a place where we open ourselves up to really hear from the Lord. And opening yourself up, understand this, God gives us everything that we need. He is supposed to be the one that fills us. We're so concerned in pouring and going in a direction that, might leave us empty, that we forget that we always full. We're built to pour out, to be filled back up. Mm-hmm. So stop trying to hold everything you got in because you scared you're going to lose it, when you never lose what's already in you. It keeps replenishing itself. It keeps going. And the more that you hold in what you got, the more you don't get no more. You just don't get no more. You tapped out. You full. When you was a kid, your mom used to tell you, finish what's on your plate first before you ask for more. Mm-hmm. So it's like, clear that off so you can get more. I'm a sizey guy. I never had a problem with clearing my plate off, And mama, you said what? Bet, I got you. I'm going to go do what I got to do, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. So, but yeah, it's just, finish what you got, deal with that, clear it off, pour it out, all that good stuff, so you can be filled back up again. Let's keep this train moving.
You want to know what's so crazy?
Talk to me.
I was like reflecting. It was either at the beginning of this week, or this week we just left out of, or either the week before then. I was just reflecting on my praise and my worship and my relationship with God in comparison to like how it was last year. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, once I really allowed myself to be open and to heal from what I needed to heal from, and just to really begin to change my mindset and stuff like that, now, since I've done all of that, I hear from God the most. But my whole life, I've known God. But I didn't have a relationship set up with him for me to hear him. It was more so, I know what God expects of me. I know who and what God does in my life and stuff like that. But I didn't know how to connect with him, and I didn't know how to hear from him like the way I do now. And it's like the moment you start making that progress of allowing yourself to be open and to be vulnerable into God, but then also just allowing yourself to heal and find out what places you need God to heal and opening up to him about those places and things, that's when you can really hear from him. Like last year, I had no sense of like direction in terms of my purpose here on earth. I'm like, I don't even know why I'm here. What am I supposed to be doing? I didn't feel like I was contributing to society in any way.
Wow.
But I was just two in my head. But then when I opened up to God about how I was really feeling, now I'm on a path of, I wake up every day and I ask myself, okay, what am I going to do that's a part of what God wants me to do? I wake up every day with a drive to continue to do what I know God has called me to do. And it's all because I made myself available. Like, you can have a relationship with God. You can know God all you want, but if you're not making it yourself available to hear, it's really no purpose.
It's a song that says, I'm available to you. Hey, look, you have to be available. You have to be. You have to be willing to allow a pouring. You have to. You have to. And that's dope. Yeah. I'm glad you shared that, because there's a lot of people that's going to hear this, that's listening right now, that needs to know we have to be open. You cannot pick and choose. Just like you can't pick and choose where you let the enemy in your life, you can't pick and choose where you let God in either.
Right.
You can't do that. It's an all or nothing deal. You either going to be full of hell or full of God. I mean, you make the choice. Yeah. You make the choice. We have to die to our flesh every single day. And dying to our flesh is choosing God. It's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. When I tell you, the second I say, Lord, I want all things to be pertaining to you. Deliver me from temptations and anything that's not like you. When I tell you, as soon as I hit the door, anything that my flesh desires is like right there.
Right.
I wish it worked like that with money, because I've been praying for $1 million forever. Like, Lord, I just keep $1 million away from me.
Right. Pray the opposite.
But yeah, at the end of the day, be available and be willing, be open, and don't be scared to be hurt.
Yeah.
You're so scared to get hurt that, you never put yourself out there. Put yourself out there and understand God got me. And in the slightest, if I'm hurt or if I go through something, understand that you're gonna make it through.
And it's God, because you're never by yourself.
Never. And it's gonna build you up. It's gonna make you stronger. When I was a kid, we had these football helmets. Played Little League football, and the more scratches you had on your helmet, the more it showed people that you was a dog. Like, you an animal. You got all those scratches on your helmet. You just be going at it. And you wanted those scratches to the point we was little kids. And like, you had a couple scratches and everything, but you wanted people to look at you and think bloody murder.
No.
You hear me? So we'll beat our helmets on the concrete because we want people to see, like, we fight. We fight over here. And understand that them scars, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna say it like this. Them scars sexy. People love to look at them scars and be like, that person been through something and they got through it. Mm-hmm. They got through it. It didn't defeat them. It didn't beat them. It's like they had a fight. They fought back, and they standing here and they look stronger.
Right.
They look wiser. They look sharper.
What was that?
Like, You look like you've been through something and the something didn't beat you.
Right.
So embrace the trials and the tribulations. Embrace the things that, you're going to go through. And I'm going to say this last piece before I get done. Understand that what you go through isn't for you. It's for somebody else.
98% of the time, it's never for you.
2% for you.
2%. Rarely.
Right.
It's a rare chance that what you go through is for you. Or because of anything you've done.
So what we gonna do, AK? What we gonna do is we gonna tell people to stop being selfish and to understand that what I go through is not for me. If I make it through, I can tell somebody else how to make it through.
Right.
We out of here.
Right.
Y'all have a blessed rest of your evening if you listen to this in the evening. Have a blessed rest of your morning if you listen to this in the morning. And have an absolute blessed rest of your afternoon if it's 12 o'clock and you on your lunch. And I hope whatever you eating is nourishing to the body. And it's delicious. And it don't go straight to your hips, because I know how I go. You know, mine go straight to my stomach. But it's cool. We rambling. You know, sometimes I have a bad time, you know, saying goodbye. But
yes. Sam has a very hard time saying goodbye.
it's hard. I never want to leave, you know? It's because I ain't gonna, some people, they experience a good goodbye where it's like, and I just peace out. And if I linger, I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave you. I'm enjoying where we at. But anyway, I gotta leave you. So
We'll see y'all next
What's
time.
inside of you is like grandmama's greens. So don't give up. Your time is coming.